Rachel Notley's election commissioner is taking another run at us. They've sent us another threat letter. I'll tell you the news in a moment, but first, just a reminder about what this is all about. Last month, Notley's hand-picked commissioner declared that we here at The Rebel aren't legally journalists, but rather because we criticized Notley and the Alberta NDP, we're actually a political campaign group, like a political party, so we have to register with the government and be regulated by her. Incredibly, we were convicted of this offense in secret at a trial they did not even tell us about in advance. And to this day, we still have not even been shown a copy of the complaint against us or even told who wrote it. Notley's commissioner proposed a $5,500 fine and warned us that we could be at risk of a $100,000 fine if we don't obey them. And obviously, we're not going to obey them. We're journalists. We're in a free country. We don't have to register with the government to have an opinion about them or to do journalism, including opinion journalism. So we appealed the decision. We have actually got a court date, March 15th, just over a month from now. You're welcome to come to the court in Edmonton if you want to watch. But I think Notley was surprised that her stunt to threaten us backfired in the media. She assumed that since most of the mainstream media don't really like us here at The Rebel, that she'd be able to get away with it, but it didn't work. Just like a few years ago when she sent an armed sheriff to kick our reporter Sheila Gunn-Reid out of the legislature, other media who didn't really like us said, "Whoa, you're being a bit too Venezuela-ish for us." So I think this blew up in her face last month too, and we haven't heard a peep from them ever since. I think they miscalculated. I really thought maybe they'd gone away. But then we committed an act of journalism this week. Tuesday night, we released a massive investigation into a fraudulent announcement by Rachel Notley. I won't get into all the details, but in short, we showed that Rachel Notley was lying about a $440 million loan guarantee to an oil sands upgrader. Notley said that construction was, quote, already underway. But Sheila Gunn-Reid went to the place and it was just a snow-covered field. Notley had lied about it. Notley said the upgrader had $2 billion in private investment ready to go. No, their president told me they doesn't actually have any investors lined up yet. And Notley hid the fact that the project had previously defaulted on a $507 million loan. What a huge scandal. So we released that investigative journalism video on Notley's upgrader scandal. We released that this Tuesday night, February 5th. Well, guess who got another angry call the next morning, February 6th? Why hasn't the Rebel been shut down yet? Why are they still allowed to criticize us? When will they be fined $100,000? I have no idea what was actually said on the phone. All I know is that hours after we released our latest report into Notley's misconduct, hours later, boom, we received another notice from Notley's commissioner. Is that a coincidence? Yeah. Now, I read the letter carefully, and it's not so much a new threat as it is a new lie. But it's designed to do the same thing, to hassle us, to waste our time, to require us to pay our lawyers to respond. We're supposed to be a free country. Alberta's political motto is literally strong and free. That's the provincial motto. But this little thug keeps harassing us because of our journalism, and every time he does, it costs us hundreds or even thousands of dollars to reply. Our March 15th appeal won't just be the time in court. It'll be countless hours of preparation for court. I don't want to shock you, but the last court date we had cost us $30,000. That's why they're doing this to us. They know we have a small budget and they have an unlimited budget. Let me read to you how stupid this latest letter from Notley's commissioner is. So they're demanding that we reply to them, to explain ourselves, to prove that we're journalists, whatever. But get this. There has been no decision in relation to an adverse finding or penalty at this time. We draw your attention again to the date for providing a response, which is February 15, 2019. This is an opportunity to provide input. So Notley's commissioner is saying in his new letter that we have to give him all sorts of explanations and answers and rationalize our journalism and tell him all these things. And we have to do it because they haven't decided on whether we're guilty yet, so we better answer them quickly. They say they haven't made an adverse finding. That's a legal way of saying to convict us. But he's a liar. They're really bad liars, though, really weird liars. Here's a letter they sent us after their secret trial that we didn't even know about. on January 14th. Literally the first 4 words of their letter says, notice of adverse finding, as in they found us guilty in their secret trial. And on the next page of their letter last month, they have a whole section called findings of the investigation, as in they told us that they had done their investigation, they found certain facts, and they concluded that we had broken the law, and so they were giving us notice of an adverse decision. That's all in their letter of January 14th. But now they're trying to get us to provide them with, well, I'm not sure exactly what, but they expect us to jump through hoops again after they've convicted us, and this bizarre letter from them comes right after we broadcast a blockbuster expose about Notley's corruption. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. Well, it will not surprise you to learn that we have no intention of replying to Notley's clownish commissioner. He has a toxic reputation for bias in Alberta. He was universally opposed for his position by the official opposition when he was appointed. No wonder he personally sued the previous Conservative government for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he lost, and he was laughed out of court. He's exceedingly biased. He's toxic. And he was specifically hired by Notley to rough us up. Yeah, no thanks. Sorry, we'll take our chances at a real court on March 15th, not in Notley's commissioner's kangaroo court. Now, unfortunately, we still have to pay lawyers to handle all this. And I spent hours on this today, too. And that's Notley's plan. Harass us, bog us down, waste our time, and even if they're writing us stupid letters, we still have to spend hundreds of dollars for our lawyers to reply. Her lawyers are paid for by Alberta taxpayers. They've got unlimited resources to attack Notley's enemies. So I expect he's going to do a lot more of that in the next few months to try to stop us from doing our investigations into Notley's failures. I've posted both today's bizarre letter from Notley's commissioner and our lawyer's calm response. I've posted both letters to our website, standwiththerebel.com. Read them for yourself. You can also find all previous letters in this matter. Now, I have done that, even though these are private letters, because Rachel Notley's misconduct is so crazy, her censorship is so brazen, that I don't know if you'd even believe it if you don't see the threat letters yourself. So please go to standwiththerebel.com. You can see all the letters. Let me read just the last 2 paragraphs of our lawyer's letter back to her commissioner. When the commissioner has made an adverse finding, the affected party may appeal that decision or seek judicial review. The Act does not provide any mechanism for the commissioner to unilaterally revisit his own decision or to reopen an investigation that has already been concluded. More importantly, Rebel Media has no confidence that it will receive a fair hearing in circumstances where the commissioner renders an adverse decision against it and then retracts that decision to invite further submission. Seriously, would you submit to a weird reinvestigation by some partisan hack who's not even following his own law? One last paragraph from our lawyer's letter in reply today. We will not provide you with any further information or submissions, as your investigation has already concluded and a decision has been rendered. We intend to proceed with our application for a statutory appeal and judicial review of this decision, including a challenge to the constitutionality of the underlying legislation. We recommend you retain counsel as soon as possible to deal with the application scheduled for March 15, 2019. As in, see you in court, Rachel Notley. Look, folks, this is not going to stop. We publish new reports about Rachel Notley almost every day. She's going to keep harassing us every time. It's hard not to notice a pattern. This latest letter comes literally the day after we broadcast our big expose on her upgrader lie. The previous letter came just a couple days after Sheila did a huge report on Notley's environment minister, Shannon Phillips, and how Phillips lied about receiving death threats from citizens when in fact police said there were no death threats. She lied. We're not going to stop being journalists. And so Rachel Notley and her hand-picked commissioner are not going to stop being bullies. Look, in a way I don't mind. I know we're right. I know we're going to win in the end. I know Rachel Notley's going to be unemployed in a couple months. It's just a bit frustrating that we're probably going to wind up spending $30,000 on this appeal by the time it's done, and who knows if it'll be appealed after that. Can you please help us with that part? I know we'll win in the end. We're going to fight like hell. I think we got great lawyers. I think this commissioner knows we're going to win too, but he'll be able to do so much damage to us in the meantime, just by wasting our time and the hassle and the cost. I'm willing to put in the fight. I'm willing to put in the time. I'll obviously fly out to Edmonton for our court date. I think our lawyers are great, but if you want to help us cover our legal fees, that's the one piece of the puzzle we could really use your help with. Please go to standwiththerebel.com. You can see the entire case history there, all the documents, and if you could chip in, I don't know, $5 or $50 or even $100 if you have it, I'd be grateful. That's standwiththerebel.com. Thanks. Look, we're journalists. We're never going to stop criticizing Rachel Notley. In fact, every time she tells us to, we'll probably criticize her more. What we need help with, though, is fighting against her lawyers. They're trying to censor us, and we need some help to fight it in court. The court date's March 15th. Can you please go to standwiththerebel.com to help us cover the cost of our lawyers? Thanks.